Hi, my name is Daniel and today I'm going to show you my Tenpai Fiendsmith deck. It's a deck that I use in a regional in Brazil. I made third place with it. A friend of mine played with the same deck and made top 8. The deck's really good, so yeah, let's show you. The first part of the deck is the 3 engraver. I have to borrow one Lacrima, one Luhier, 3 tracked. Pretty standard Fiendsmith line. I use only one Lacrima because we have the Tenpai normal summons and I didn't want to have a lot of normal summons in my hand. And I didn't miss it since it's very accessible by hacking or even tracked. The second part of the deck is the Tenpai. Most of the cards are limited. The thing is, when you play a second engine with Fiendsmith like Kashira or even the Magical Musketeers, they don't do a lot for you because Magical Musketeers use your normal summon, and if you play with your Fiendsmith cards, you see that it's the same line. You go to Reckon, and if your Reckon gets Ash or something like that, the Magical Musketeer cards doesn't do a lot for you because they try to do the same Fiendsmith combo that was already interrupted by your opponent. The Tenpai cards were different strategy, different engine. They play differently. They play better against hand traps. And the Genroku was a better normal summon than Pydra because it dodges hand traps way better. Like if you only have a Pydra to play and your opponent has Impermanent, Silveira, it's not that good. Genroku can dodge that, and it has the advantage of being a special summon sometimes with the field or even with Pot of Prosperity that we use. We saw that in Fiendsmith decks in general, the mirror match is usually better to be second because you have an extra card and you have an extra battle phase. So in playtest we see that whenever Fiendsmith variant we are playing, if you get in a mirror where you try to grind out your opponent with your Fiendsmith cards or your hand traps, it's usually better to have an extra card in your hand. And by being second, the best thing to have is the Tenpai 1. It's way better to normal summon a Pydra or a Genroku than to normal summon a Caspar or something like that. The early turns of the game usually are the most important ones, so we usually tend to go second, blind second, the game 1. Game 2 and game 3, it depends on the match. Sometimes we choose to go first, even if we are playing Tenpai. But game 1, we usually blind second our opponent because we have that extra card. We have a battle phase. We have the Tenpai cards for the battle phase. So it was, for me, the best engine to play alongside Fiendsmith. And then we have like more consistent cards. I'm gonna talk about Magnamut a little because it's not only a hand trap, it's like a card that can play for both of your engines. It's one body on the field for you to play the Fiendsmith cards, like you already have one monster on the field to make Moon and Reckon and stuff. And that card also can see both or either your Fiendsmith cards or your Tenpai cards. So those are more consistent cards for the deck. And alongside of that, since we blind second the game 1, we choose to play 3 Trusts because it's a card that's very good and has a lot of value going second, and just 1 talent because it's searchable here. And it was very good. It's a 44 cards deck. I forgot to mention it in the beginning. It's a 44 card deck, and I probably wouldn't change a thing in the main deck. So here then we have the no engine. You can put the bestial here because we use 2 more bestials. The Druidstorm. It's a level 6 for you to make Chaos Angel or for you to make Caesar with the Fiendsmith cards. It's a Disruption. It's a hand trap. It's a body on the field for you to make Moon. It outs Detonator. This card is great. It's searchable by the Magnamut. It's Dragon, so you can synchro with your Tenpais. Very good card. And then we have a lot of more non-engine. I used 2 Purulia and 2 Follows. This was very good, obviously. And also, those cards are very good when you blind second your opponent. A lot of people weren't expecting Tenpai in this event because of the ban list. And so, Armor Charmies were always alive. And when you blind second, you kill the opponent Mochamis. So, it was very good. Ogre is very standard. Trinib is very good. Alongside with another hand trap is great, and it's great by itself against Malice and other stuff. 3 Impermanent, 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, and those are the hand traps. It's 21, I think. The cool thing here is that you don't have a lot of hand traps that conflict with themselves. Like, you don't have a lot of chance to draw 2 Ash or 2 Nib or 2 Ogre. That's the cards that can be dead in your hand in multiples. Because the other combinations are very good, like 2 Impermanents, 1 Veiler, 2 Veiler, a Nib, 1 Nib, 1 Impermanents, 1 Veiler, 3 Impermanents, 2 Follows, a Bistio. You have a lot of 2 card combination and even 3 card combination of hand traps that are always alive here. And then, to close the deck, we have the 2 bricks. It's not that bricky, but you don't want to draw it. You can discard on the field spell of the Sangen Summoning. And this you don't really want to draw, but it's okay, I guess. For the extra deck, you need the Tenpai line. Here, one of each. This card is important for RTKs because it bounces a monster on your opponent's side of the field, so you can battle, synchro, synchro this, bounce, battle, synchro this for this or this. It's the Tenpai shenanigans, the standard stuff. I also used one Chaos Angel because you can make it with the Fiendsmith package, Lacrima and Engraver. You can make it with both effects by making the Necro Cape that I use here in my extra deck. And it also can be made with 1 Bistio and Lacrima. It's good to notice that you can also make this with any level 6 in your deck, like for example Engraver, let's say. So you can make like with this, that it's a turner. It's very important to bring this up because it's a turner. And for example Engraver, but it can be like Bistio or something like that. Because you can declare an attack, your opponent can try to imperm this, so you can, especially from the deck, you can chain it, so you can make a Chaos Angel in the battle phase, banish 1, attack for 3/5. It helps a lot with OTKs, because this is a turner and this is a light, so it's cool. Oh yeah, and there's that for the when you go first, and that's a very good card. When you go first with this deck, it's very cool with that you can make the Fiendsmith board like Caesar or the Fusion monster, plus this. It's very strong alongside with the multiple hand traps that you probably have. It's very good. Then we have the Fiendsmith package. Moon. It consumes a lot of your extra deck, but I think you need all of them. We are trying to fit a second Desiree in this deck, but we prefer another card that I'm going to show you. And I wouldn't change anything here, because the last card of our deck is the SP. You don't do that a lot here, but this card is so generic that you probably want to have it. Sometimes you miss the second Desiree, and there are some other cards that you can use, like for example M7 for a rank 6. If you have a Genroku in your graveyard, you can make M7, get the Genroku for your hand, Genroku will trigger special, and then you can kill with the Tenpai Engine. But SP is too generic, we prefer that, but you don't do that, you don't summon it a lot in this deck. That's the extra deck. And for the side deck, we have 3 Lancia for the Malice, and alongside of that you have an Artifact Sanctum. This is also can be searchable by the Triple Tragic Trust. The same idea with a 1-dimensional barrier. One Called by the Grave. This card's very generic. Those cards are for decks that can be like trap decks, labyrinth and stuff. This is a Find Light, so it's just a utility card that can be searchable by your engine, and Feather Duster is just a good card overall. We put the second talents when we go first, because there's a lot of deck with a lot of hand traps out there, so this card is pretty much always alive. For when we go in first as well, we put 2 Sanct. This card was not very good for me, but in testing it was very, very good. The reason that we don't put this in the main deck is because it conflicts with the Tenpai engine. When you blind second and you active it, you can only attack with Fiendsmith monsters for the rest of the turn. So it was not a good idea for the main deck. But in some matches, like I said, we choose to go first even if we were playing Tenpai, because our deck's not only Tenpai. And this card is another target for Engraved Search. It's another starter. It's just a good card overall, then we put it in the deck. And when we go first, like against Malice, for example, we choose to go first. You don't want to let this deck combo or maybe dodge or hand traps, or just you draw a bad hand and they just full combo you. It's crazy. But in the tournament, for me, it was not very good. But in testing, this card was really, really good. And overall, I may take one off in the future. I don't know. I have to see. And then there's the last 4 cards of the deck. Those are the only cards that are different between my build and my friend's build, the one that made top 8 at the same event. The things that we choose to use here, 1 Uka and 3 Uka and 1 Sword Soul Iris. In idea, it was very good. When they reckon you can summon Uka, Uka gets the Iris on the field. Iris somewhat like an ogre that can destroy Dual Driver, for example. When they try to active, it's a board on the field. You create 2 boards on the field for you to play with the Fiendsmith cards. And what was a good idea. We tested the day before and it was very good. But the thing is that when I get home and try to find my Ukas and my Iris, I didn't find them. And I wasn't able to borrow one with anyone. Yeah, I was already at the tournament. I had to submit my deck list. So I just put 4 cards here. Those cards are not very good, but it was fun to play. So the first card that I put it was the 30 Follows. Obviously, this card is good. I mean, those 3 are not that good, but I had it, so were not going to use it. But since I lost 4 cards of my deck, I use it. The second card was Astral Curitiba, and that's funny. I used number 59 and the Old Man stuff. The thing here was like, this is a Find Light, so it can be searched by tracked. And when you make an Exceed with this, it can be destroyed by battle or by card effects. So you normal summon Lacrima and you special summon this, because it can be special summoned by revealing a number from your extra deck. So you reveal this. It becomes level 4. It gets the same level of the monster that you revealed. So if it was a rank 4, it becomes a level 4. And then you make this. Number 59 is unaffected by card effects when you have no other cards on your field. And when it has a Astral Curitiba under it, it can be destroyed by battle or by card effects. So it can be destroyed by battle, it can be destroyed by card effects, and it's unaffected by every card. So most decks in the meta right now don't have a way to deal with this. Of course, there's a lot of alts in the game for this, like a Kaiju alt this, but no one's playing Kaijus. So the idea was like, if the game state gets too complicated, or if you're going to time and you're gonna try to grind the game with hand traps and you don't have time to grind, I was trying to make this, and when I make this, or I try to make some damage with the Tenpai cards and then make this to guarantee the game, or just put one card in the main deck to burn for time. I didn't have anything else. I tried to find a firecracker or something like that, but it could be negated by the Rise of Field spell. And like I said, I have minutes to put 4 cards in my deck, so it was just a meme thing. I didn't use it at all at the tournament. I didn't have the chance. Neither of my games went time. So it was fun to play it. The idea was cool, but in practice, it didn't work at all. So just a fun thing to do. And those are the only things that I would change in this deck. Like maybe the third flowers, I don't know. I like the Yuka Iris thing. I would play it if I had the cards, but probably those are the only cards that I would change in the deck. So that's it. Thanks for having me. I think this is one of the best ways to play Fiendsmith in this format. The pie cards are very good in this particular format. So yeah, thank you. See you.